Okay, so welcome everybody. Let's go and have a look at Matt's production. So you want to give a...
cool.
I guess you
Music
can just...
coming through my...
Oh yeah, wow, nice. This is new.
Hey Dan, is there a way to actually leave calculus walls once I've got into this world?
Nope, I forgot about that.
Right.
Yeah, there should
I'll
be
restart it.
there should be a portal that goes back. That's true.
It's all good.
Okay, well, everyone else, welcome. This is Kuroyikijima, which is my node. It's not good for much except if you like snow, but there's a couple of features. So if we go up the hill, then we'll find Ackermann's temple or Ackermann's shrine, and you might like to explore that. After that, you might like to check out the black sea of ice around us. That's pretty fun. And if you can find them, there are some light cycles like from the movie Tron, and they're pretty fun to go around on the black sea of light. So yeah, just have fun.
I think you should have only put 2 light bikes in so that there's a race for them.
One of them is faster than the others.
Oh, okay, very good.
I just went to one of the subspaces and came back, and I was like way high up in the air. Is that intentional?
Oh yeah, there's also a big university up in the sky. It's at the top of this. So some of us are at the spiral staircase. Actually, it's at the very top, but I've never walked all the way up. You might think it would take a couple hours because if you know about Ackermann's function. If you know about Ackermann's function, the first 5 like results, if you call it with the value 1, you get 2, and then with the value, sorry, that's with the value 0. If you call it with the value 1, you get 3, and then you get 5 when you call it with 2, and then if you call it with 3, you get 13, and then if you call it with 4, you get 65,533, and that's the number of steps in this spiral staircase.
So Ackermann of 5-1 when?
When Roblox and I have bigger computers.
So is this staircase generated in code when the server starts, or did you just copy and paste a lot of times?
I actually built this one manually. I wouldn't do that again for, especially not for Ackermann 5.
What, brick by brick?
This is amazing.
Not brick by brick. I did it. I just sort of progressively doubled it. And it was more manageable.
So should we believe you that there's the right number? Somebody should check.
I would welcome your double checking that, but yeah, I'll leave that as an exercise for the visitor.
Wait, we could like actually figure that out based on, I mean, does it sort of wrap around the circle evenly? Probably not.
Yeah, every 73 bricks. Oh, except I think it might be 72 because there's 1 brick of overlap between each 2 spirals. Anyway, I did the calculations. I think it's right.
So your world also has a much demanded feature for TRS, which is a faster walking speed.
Yeah. Okay, now if you can you guys see me on the wall here?
Yeah.
If you can try and come down this way, you'll get to see the Sea of Light, which is pretty cool.
Where are we going?
Just
come down to the bottom of like the bottom of the mountain under the temple. Some people have found their way.
Yeah.
If you want to get down here, you can like come out the entrance of the temple and then just fall down
and look for the white patches growing.
Yeah, there's some white lights where we are now.
Oh, it's tracing my footsteps.
So do you want to remind us about the rules for the game of life? I had to look them up, to be honest.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so this black space, it implements Conway's game of life.
Okay, so Roblox is Turing complete, confirmed.
Yeah, this is it. Although it's a finite world.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt,
so
I have some bad news. I think I've one of the bikes. It's moving faster than I can catch.
Oh no, you're not going to be able to bring it back. You have to come back and get another bike. And
There's a
go and
sign
catch it.
there, Billy, saying
Please
bring
bring
back the
them back.
bike.
Okay, if you jump when you're on the bike, then the bike will keep moving. So don't do that because you'll lose the bike.
What is SPS?
I think it's studs per second. So that's Roblox's unit of distance is like 1 stud.
Okay.
So yeah, that's your speed. It's basically like meters per second, I think.
How did who got all that air just then? How did you do that?
Oh, this bike's faster than all the other ones. So maybe it sometimes just goes into the air.
What? Get off.
Catch me.
Someone help me get my bike.
Okay,
Don't worry about the bike.
You,
so I tell you about the C. So Conway's game of life is a set of simple rules where each cell is either alive or dead, and in each time step it changes its state based on how it's feeling and its neighbors. So if there are too many neighbors that are alive, then the cell will die from overcrowding. And if there are not enough neighbors, if it's alive and there are not enough neighbors that are alive around it, then it will die from like loneliness. And then the cells also breed. So if they're like are the right number of cells around them, like if there's 2 or 3 alive cells and you're a dead cell, then you will come to life because you'll be born from the other cells. And so that's what happens. So when you step on a cell or when you ride on it with your light cycle, then it comes alive. And then in the next time step, it will enter the evolution sort of dynamics of the system. And I think this world is finite, which means that it's not technically Turing complete. But if you had an infinite grid of this, then you can implement all sorts of computation because you can implement a Turing machine. And it's pretty complicated, and I don't really know exactly how you do it. But yeah, you kind of like use the cells to represent your kind of memory, and you have these special machines or like configurations of cells that travel across the grid that represents kind of sending messages to different parts of the machine, and using that you can implement computation.
Yeah, I looked into it after I'd come in here for the first time. It's quite complicated to implement a UTM, but very fascinating. I think it's like a testament to the stubbornness of human beings that someone actually did that. Yeah. Cool.
So one thing I haven't done yet is built at least not. Maybe I've done it incidentally, but I haven't been able to build a glider. So this is a special type of configuration where the cells kind of propagate their life across the grid, and I haven't been able to do that yet. But maybe I think if we had more people, then we could all just like stand in the right position and then like awaken the cells, and then it would work. But we could try that later if we have time.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Jackson, how did you do that? Come back here.
So I want to put a couple more things in here. I want to put a Lorentz attractor that is made of butterflies, but I don't really know how I'm going to do that. I want to put a train, like a bullet train, that uses this track that you might have seen behind the mountain.
Oh, so that's not finished yet. Russell and I walked backwards and forwards along that track trying to figure out what this was for. Okay.
Well, the station will tell you that the next train is in, let me see, in here now. It's in 85,705,304 seconds and counting.
It's a bit less than 3 years. So what's that about?
That just takes us to the next, like, I think it's like 70,000 or 70 million for the Unix epoch or something like that.
Okay.
Like it's just a round number since the epoch. But that just gives me plenty of time to figure out how to put the train in. So I accidentally sent the rainbow bike, which is the fast one, careening off to the edge. So maybe the last feature I'll tell you about is this grid actually wraps around. So if you go to the very edge, then your life will propagate to the other edge.
I see.
But you never really notice that because it's quite a big grid. So yeah, that's more or less Kuroyikijima.
How do we get to the top again?
Oh, okay. So if you head back to spawn, there's a portal that will take you to subspace, and there's a portal to the university from there.
Yeah, I might just reset and do that.
Yeah, that's another option. If you just reset your character, it'll take you back to the spawn.
Whoops.
Dan, I ditched you on purpose. I thought that would be fun.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I was worried you were going to go off the edge, to be honest. What? Jackson's trying to go like up the Ackermann stairs on the bike.
Oh, that's hard. But probably faster than walking if you can get it. But the fastest way is to take the bike through the portal in subspace.
Right. Yeah.
It's a little bit hard to, like, because the bike goes through the portal and then you have to go through the portal and then you have to get on the bike again. But it sometimes gets stuck in the portal and then every second it like goes back down and then it comes back up. It's quite hard. But if you eventually get the bike up here, then you can fall down on the bike and that's pretty cool.
What's the long walkway out to that that kind of arch?
Oh, that's just like a temple thing.
Oh, no.
Oh, goodbye.
Yeah. Okay,
enjoy the view on the way down.
Try and whack my head on the stairs. There we go.
Matt, I lost another bike.
You're gonna have to bring that back.
I fell off the mountain and it just went flying.
Well, I'm enjoying the view of the game of life while I'm falling to my death anyway.
Oh, there are some chat messages. Oh no, that's just about friends joining the game. Yeah, okay, so there's not much else to show, I think, at the moment. This is just meant to be like an interesting place to visit.
It's a beautiful place, and it's interesting, and it creates an opportunity to explain a kind of piece of mathematics that, I mean, of course, I could just sit my family down and be like, hello, now let's study the game of life. But that is just not very natural, right? But somehow this kind of environment just creates a really natural opportunity to talk about things like that. So I think it's really great.
I claim mathematics is mostly about curiosity, and this does a really good job of encouraging that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's a better story than saying, like, imagine there was this game of life thing in the real world. It's like, well, it's actually here. Like, jump around on it.
Yeah. I like interacting with it as well. Like, you get the little things that are stuck in position, and you can run across them and then reactivate them.
That's right. Yeah. So we have other places to see, right? I don't want to.
Yeah, that's
too
true.
much time here.
I guess let's head back to the hub. Is there a link to the hub here? Oh,
Yes,
I guess we
from
go
subspace.
From subspace, right.
So if you reset your character, and don't worry about the bikes, when everyone leaves the server, obviously they'll come back. And if you reset your character, then you'll be back at the spawn, and you can go through the yellow portal. Then that'll take you to the underground portal network, and the blue portal takes you to the Metauni hub.
Yeah, so head back to the Metauni hub, and then we'll go and take a look at what Yifan's been up to, the M.U.M.S room. Yep. Okay. Hi everyone. So let's head into the M.U.M.S room. Yifan, do you want to say a few words about what you've done in there as we go in?
Yeah, sure. So at the moment, there are 6 questions in the room. It's made for all orientation week, new first students, so they'll be too easy for you guys. But feel free to try them out. So each challenge is represented by a little cube, the white cube floating around. So you just touch the cube and the question will pop up.
Okay, so you can step into the rising sea. And then from there into the tutorial room.
Some speed boosts.
Yeah, I know you want it, Jackson, but I'm holding on the slow speed. Okay, so when you come in, so go into the right hand portal, the one that's marked metatute calculus wars. Okay, so this was is an experiment in how to maybe run tutorials So Will was thinking about doing that for one of his classes, at least for one of the rooms. I don't know if you want to say something about that, Will. We'll see if you get permission or not. But
Yeah.
so the idea here was that so there's a capture the flag game built into this tutorial room. So if you make your way over to the opponent's castle, you'll notice that you can pick up the flag.
Come on, Dan, flag's in on him.
Oh, he's going down. I wonder if you actually go faster with that crazy skate you've got going.
Yeah, yeah, it'd be good. Nice.
Yeah, okay, so back on the subject.
Right. This is very distracting. We can't even talk about how to organize the tunes without getting distracted.
So what should the format be then? Sort of like, I was thinking a couple of minutes at the beginning where you run around and do this and then get into it, and then a couple of minutes at the end or something. But yeah, we go.
Oh, Dad, don't get Billy. He's Billy on fire.
Where is he? Oh, what? These guys.
Damn it, how do you open the door?
Alright, I've got a new strat. Ready?
How do you do that?
Can you get it if it's... Ah, damn, you can still... I thought you wouldn't be able to grab it if like...
You thought
on the other side of my
moonwalking made you invincible.
I-
That's true, actually. The touch event is on the flag pole.
So somehow you still touched it even though it was on my back.
Yeah, I mean, my hitbox is pretty large.
That's OP.
Oh,
Yeah.
I might
Oh,
continue.
I thought you might get stuck on the chair.
Someone go and get Matt.
I can see red flag coming out of my face.
No, I'm laughing. That's unfair.
Help.
Oh, no.
Is anyone chasing Matt?
I got it at flag one. I didn't-
Dan's going out the back. He's on the right side.
That makes no sense.
Someone on blue team.
Yeah.
Get them. Do you see him?
Yeah, got him.
Oh, what?
Makes better sense.
Ouch!
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I feel like these are details anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
as people use it, they'll experiment and we'll figure things out that we don't know currently. But I think the things that need to be sorted out right now are the basics. And I think what we've discussed so far seems like already a reasonable plan to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe at least I'm going to head off shortly. Are there any other aspects of running tutorials in here that people want to ask about or make suggestions about?
No,
I guess I mean it's sort of gone without mention that the whiteboards seem to work sufficiently well for everybody to be think it's plausible to do this. So that's a credit to James in particular for doing all the hard work on these boards. So
I'm happy they're not lagging now.
no, they're amazing. So
Yeah, they
I
work
mean,
super well.
yeah, maybe James, you want to just take a minute and sort of say what's happened to the boards since the last event and what's responsible for them improving?
Yeah, so what it used to... Basically the way that the whiteboards work is every time that someone clicks on them and moves their mouse, it draws a line segment from the previous mouse position to the current mouse position. And so you get a bunch of these line segments. And it draws all of those things onto both a surface GUI, which is the thing that is physical in the world, and then also a screen GUI, which is when you click on it, you can see the results of that screen GUI, you can see all the line segments. Now, the way that it used to work is there was just one surface GUI for the physical board, and there was one screen GUI for the board that you get when you click on it. But it turns out, unknown to me previously, that Roblox does not like modifying the same screen GUI over and over. Because the way that screen GUIs render, GUI objects in general, the way that GUI objects in general render is if they haven't changed since the previous frame, they'll cache their results and won't have to redraw them, basically. And so because I was constantly drawing new line segments onto the screen GUI and the surface GUI, it was constantly having to re-render the entire thing. Which meant that if you drew for too long, or particularly if you drew with a tablet, because it generates way more line segments that way, it would just become unworkably laggy before too long. So now what's happening instead is every stroke, and by stroke I mean group of line segments corresponding to a single click, gets its own screen GUI and surface GUI, which means that if you draw a new stroke, it doesn't have to re-render all the old strokes, they're still cached. And that change has made it basically not laggy at all, as far as we can tell. Like we've tried drawing a lot on it, and it hasn't started to lag, so that's good.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's clever. Good work.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those annoying things with programming in a language that I'm not super familiar with. Is I don't like. It was hidden away in the documentation that this thing causes it to lag, and I never noticed it. So,
I have a question about the blackboards. So, I don't know who's doing all of these scribbles, but wait, what? I swear the yellow line was just underneath some of the others.
Yeah, if you rotate your camera, it kind of bugs out, and the whole lines change.
That's
it should now, assuming these are the most up-to-date version, it should always be correct on the on-screen version. So the screen GUI, later line segments should always appear on top of all the line segments.
Yeah.
But the one in the surface GUI, as far as I can tell, there's no way to do that. Like,
Sure.
it's just random with the order that they come in. I've tried looking around and it doesn't seem to be a way.
It's interesting.
Was that your question, Will?
Yeah, that was my question.
Yeah.
It's one of those incredibly frustrating. Like, I googled the exact problem I'm having with surface GUIs, and the top result is some thread on the Roblox dev forum where someone's asked this exact question: why can you not do this for surface GUIs? And then one of the top answers is basically, I don't understand why you would want that feature. Like, are you serious? Like, it seems like an incredibly obvious feature to me. But...
the other thing we were potentially going to cover today was the new admin command system, but I guess we'll leave that for another day, if that's okay, Billy, since people have sort of left already. So the admin features that are in the Rising C node, you can now install in your own nodes. If you look on the web page under the Use Metauni Tools link near the top of the front page, you'll see instructions for how to do that. So Billy's done a lot of work on that over the last 2 weeks as well. Okay, so I guess let's declare an official end. So thanks everyone for coming, and thanks for your suggestions about the tutorials, and never steal my flag again, you scumbags.
Thanks for setting this up, Dan.
Yeah, see you next week.
That's it.
Yeah.